Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are going to continue. This is our second video in continuous of reading the story of the prophet, story of Musa alaihi salam. Okay, I already did my first video and I will upload it in my YouTube channel, and inshallah we will read this until 4 p.m. because it's Asr is around 4:15 p.m. and then after Asr prayers, inshallah I'll continue with the rest. Okay. Musa alayhi salam skills. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the reason why Musa alayhi salam had to leave Egypt and to go to Midian and stay there for a time. Also mentioned is how he received the revelation, and when he would return from Midian after the completion of his agreement, as the details will follow. Allah said, enter the city at the time when its people were at noon rest. Ibn Abbas, Suddi, Qatada and others say that it was the time of the afternoon when most people go for siesta, a short nap. However, in other opinion from Ibn Abbas, it was a time between sunset and Isha time. Sunset and Isha time is Maghrib. And he found two people fighting there, one of them from the own people, Israelites, and the other was from his enemies, Coptic. The one from his own plead for him to help against the enemy. Musa alayhi salam had a free access and power in Egypt because of his relation to Fir'aun. Israelites have also felt elevated and proud that they have fostered Musa, so they are his cousins in suckling. So when the Israeli plead Musa alayhi salam for help against the Coptic Egyptian, Musa alayhi salam came to him and struck him with his fist, and so he killed him. This was powerful blow. That Coptic Egyptian was a disbeliever. Nonetheless, Musa alayhi salam did not intend to kill him. He only wanted to restrain him and rebuke him. That is why Musa alayhi salam said, this is the work of Shaitan. Surely he is a manifest misleading enemy. He prayed, O my Lord, I've wronged myself, so please forgive me. So Allah forgave him, and Allah is all forgiving, most merciful. He said, O my Lord, due to what you have bestowed upon me, I shall never be a help to those who sin. So now I'm wondering, is Musa alayhi salam's punch so strong, or is the Egyptian guy so weak? So he became fearful and worried in the city, and the man who had pleaded for his help the day before sought his help again. Musa alayhi salam said to him, surely you are belligerent. But when Musa alayhi salam was about to assault the man who was an enemy to them both, the man said, O Musa, would you slay me today as you slew a living soul yesterday? You only wish to be tyrant in the land, and you do not wish to be of those who seek righteousness. A man came running from the farthest part of the city, saying, O Musa, the chief are conspiring to slay you, so depart this place. I am your sincere advisor. This is from Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verse 18 to 20. Just wanted to say, these Israelites people, they are a bit weird. This, according to me, not from the book, but to me, this is a bit weird. They had this kind of audacity to challenge God, to challenge God, to challenge the teaching, to challenge everything, and then cry victim. So victim blaming, victim card is nothing new for them. It's very common. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Most High, informs us that Musa alayhi salam became frightened in Egypt from Fir'aun and his establishment, that he may come to discover that the Coptic who was killed by him while helping an Israelite. Now it will strengthen their doubt if they come to know about it that Musa actually belonged to them. So Musa salam, when he came to the city on the next morning, was fearful and worried. Turning to his attention, either sides are doubt. While he was passing by, he saw the same Israeli fighting with another Coptic Egyptian and seeking his help against him. Musa salam rebuked the Israeli and approached him for being involved in fighting again and said, "Surely you are a belligerent." And then went to hit the Coptic Egyptian, but the Israelite thought it was otherwise and said, "Oh Musa, will you slay me today as you slew a living soul yesterday? You only wish to be a tyrant in the land, and you do not wish to be of those who seek righteousness." This disclosure was from the Israelite, who was well aware of this incident. When he saw Musa salam coming towards the Coptic Egyptian, he thought probably he was coming to hit him, since he had rebuked him, saying, "You are surely a belligerent." Hence, when he said to Musa salam, "Would you slay me today as you slew a living soul yesterday?" the Coptic Egyptian came to know the secret and disclosed it to the Pharaoh. It was also possible that this disclosure may have come from the Coptic Egyptian, and when he saw Musa salam coming to him, he was frightened and had guessed that he was probably the killer of the yesterday's victim, or may have come to know from the Israelite he was fighting with. The news reached Pharaoh that it was Musa salam who killed yesterday's victim. So Pharaoh sent his police in his pursuit. However, a man, a sincere friend, Musa salam, brought the news of their decision before the police arrived. A man came running from the farthest part of the city saying, "O Musa, the chiefs are conspiring to slay you, so depart this place, go out of this country. I am your sincere advisor." Okay, so now Musa salam goes to Madian. He departed from Egypt at once, not knowing where to go and in which direction. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "So he departed there in fear with a conscience, saying, 'My Lord, save me from these evildoers.' And when he set off towards Midian, he said, 'I hope that my Lord will guide me to the right path.' And when he reached to the wells of Midian, he found thereupon a group of men watering their flocks. And he found besides them 2 women trying to keep their flocks apart. So he said, 'What is the matter with you?' The 2 women said, 'We cannot draw water until the shepherds have gone away, and our father is very old man.' So he drew water from them. Then he went to sit in the shade. He said, 'My Lord, I am in need of any good that you may send to me.'" From Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verse 21 to verse 24. So it's very good for us to make this dua as well. "My Lord, I am in need of any good that you may send to me." Anytime, whether you want to find job or schools or lecture or something or whatever, you are in distress, it's best for us to recite the dua that our prophets, peace be upon them, all recite. This verses tells us the story of Musa salam when he departed from Egypt in fear of pursuit, not knowing where he was heading to because he had never got out of Egypt before. And when he set off towards Madian, he took the direction of the towns of Madian and said, "I hope that my Lord will guide me to the right path. I hope this path may lead me to a destination." And so it happened. And when he reached the wells of Madian, from these wells the people of Madian took their water for themselves and for their flocks. Madian was a city where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destroyed the people of Thiqet. They were the people of Shu'aib alayhi salam. If you go back to my previous videos, you can see about Shu'aib alayhi salam. However, when Musa alayhi salam approached the wells, he found thereupon a group of men watering their flocks. He found besides them 2 women trying to keep their flocks apart from the flocks of others so that they could not mix with them. The people of the book said that there were 7 sisters who came to water their flock. In book of Exodus 2. This is wrong. From our point of view, this may have been 7 sisters, but only 2 of them went to water their flocks. However, from the Quranic point of view, there were only 2 sisters. Musa alayhi salam inquired of them, "What is the matter with you?" The 2 women said, "We cannot draw water until the shepherds have gone away, and our father is a very old man. We could not water our flocks until all shepherds have gone away with their flocks. We are weak and we cannot get involved in any dispute. We have come to water them because our father is an old man who could not do it, so he drew water for them." The exegetes said when the shepherds have watered their flock, they would put back a huge stone on the mouth of the well. Then those 2 women would come and water their flock from the water left over from their flocks of shepherd. However, that day Musa alayhi salam came and removed the stone and watered the flocks for them, and then put the stone back on its place. Khalifah Umar radiallahu anh said that it was so huge stone that it could only be lifted by 10 men. Then he went to sit in the shade and said, "My Lord," okay, just now I was saying, right, whether the guy is too weak or Musa alayhi salam too strong. Musa alayhi salam is very strong based on this. Then he went to sit in the shade and said, "Oh my Lord, I am in need of any good that you may send to me." Ibn Abbas said Musa alayhi salam went from Egypt to Madian eating only plants and leaf. He was barefoot and his stomach was struck to his back as a result of hunger, and he desperately needed some decent food. Arthur bin Sa'ib said that when Musa alayhi salam said, "My Lord, I am in need of any good that you may send to me," he said it loudly so the woman heard it. Okay, let's drink some water. Musa alayhi salam gets refuge. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Qasas chapter 25 to 28, "Then one of the 2 women came to him walking bashfully. She said, 'My father invites you that he may reward you for drawing water for us.' So when he came to him and related to him his story, he said, 'Do not be afraid. You have escaped from the evildoers.' One of the 2 women said, 'Oh my father, hire him. Surely the best of those you can hire is the one who is strong and trustworthy.' He said, 'I intend to give you one of these 2 daughters of mine in marriage, provided you serve me for 8 years. However, if you complete 10, that will be grace from you. I do not want a place any hardship upon you. If Allah wills, you surely find me a righteous man.' He said, 'Be that the agreement between you and me, whichever of the 2 terms two terms I fulfill, there shall be no injustice to me, and Allah is all witness, that we say. Remember, the story of Yaqub alayhi salam and story of Musa alayhi salam. Both of them are prophets. Musa alayhi salam and Yaqub alayhi salam, both of them are prophets. They serve their father-in-law to marry their daughters. So how shall I put that word? It's really amazing and interesting, It's very amazing and interesting. Because you see, it's not like work for 1 year or 7 months or 8 months, it's years. So they want to see how dedicated you are. If you can actually, what worthy of taking care of their daughters. Then when the woman came back home early, their father was surprised to see them home early. They related the incident to their father, who then asked one of them to go back and bring him home. Then one of the two women came to him walking bashfully. The woman bashfully came to Musa alayhi salam and delivered the message. She said, "My father invites you that he may reward you for drawing water for us." Musa alayhi salam went with her to her home to meet her father. She told him about himself and related to him his story. When he finished, the old man told him not to worry anymore because he was now away from their jurisdiction. And when he related to him this story, he said, "Do not be afraid, we have escaped from the evildoers." After Musa alayhi salam was entertained in honor, one of the daughters said to her father, "O father, hire him." She asked her father to hire Musa alayhi salam for looking after their flock, and then she praised him for being strong and trustworthy. Musa alayhi salam and Umar radiallahu an and Ibn Abbas and many others said, when his daughter said that he asked her, "How do you know that?" she said, "He lifted the rock which not less than 10 people could lift it. And when I led him home by being in front of him, he said, 'Walk behind me. When you have changed the path, just throw a pebble on the path and I will know.'" So in Islam, it's not ladies first. Okay, there's a reason why. When I continue reading, you will hear it. He said, "I intend to give you one of these two daughters of mine in marriage, provided you serve me for 8 years. However, if you complete 10 years, that will be grace from you. And I do not want to place any hardship upon you. If Allah wills, you shall find me a righteous man." The Hanbali school of thought have inferred upon this verse that one can employ one for food and clothing. They supposed their opinion by a hadith which narrated by Ibn Majah under the title Chapter of Employing One for Food. Ali ibn Rabah said that he heard Utbah bin Nadar saying, when we were sitting near the Prophet ﷺ, he was recited Surat Tasimim, and after the story of Musa alayhi salam, he said, Musa alayhi salam employed himself for 8 years or 10 years for his modesty and for feeding himself. Ibn Majah 2444. Be that the agreement between you and me, whichever of the two terms I fulfill, there shall be no injustice to me, and Allah is witness to what we say. Musa alayhi salam told his father-in-law that the agreement that was an agreement between them. If he had fulfilled either of the terms, there is no injustice will be done to him, and they made Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the witness for the agreement. However, Musa alayhi salam fulfilled their term for 10 years. Imam Bukhari narrated from Sa'id ibn Jubair saying, a Jew asked me about which of the terms Musa alayhi salam fulfilled. I said, I do not know till I come to the most knowledgeable person of Arab and ask him. So I came to Ibn Abbas and I asked him about it. He said he fulfilled the best of it and the longer of it. It's from Bukhari and An-Nasai. Musa alayhi salam and Mount Tur. When Musa alayhi salam had fulfilled the term and departed with his family, he perceived a fire on the side of the Mount Tur. He said to his family, "Stay here, I see a fire. I hope I bring you from there some information, or bring you some burning fire from it, that you may warm yourself." When he came to the fire, he was called from the right side of the valley from a tree in the blessed ground. "O Musa, I am Allah, the Lord of the worlds," and threw down your staff. So when he threw it, it quivering like a snake. He ran away and did not come back. "O Musa, come back and fear not, for you are quite secure, and put your hand into your bosoms, and when it come out, it'll be white without stain. And draw your hand close to your side to be free from fear. Those are the two proofs from your Lord to Fir'aun and his chiefs, for indeed they are wicked people." This is from Surah Al-Qasas, chapter 28, verse 29 to 32. After Musa alayhi salam has fulfilled the term of 10 years, he left with his family heading back to Egypt. He was keen to see his family back in Egypt. It was said that this journey happened to be in a dark, cold night. They lost their way and could not see anything. While he was wandering about, he spotted fire at distance in the direction of Mount Tur. Then he said to his family, "Stay here, I see a fire." It seemed that he spotted a fire and it could not be seen by the rest of his family. That fire was actually a light which could not be seen by anyone. Musa alayhi salam said, "I hope I may bring you from there some information from our direction, or to bring you some burning fire from it, that you may warm yourself." This is an evidence that they had lost their way in a cold night. This is also clear from another verse in Surah Taha, chapter 9 to 10. "And we have heard you, O Musa, and have you heard the story of Musa? When he perceived the fire, he said to his family, 'Wait here, I've seen a fire. Perhaps I shall bring you burning brand from it, or I may find a fire a guide.' Or as it said in Surah Al-Naml, chapter 27, verse 7, when Musa alayhi salam said to his family, 'I perceive a fire, I may bring you some information, or I may bring you a burning brand of fire, that you may warm yourself.' So Musa alayhi salam came to it. When he got the information, and how great an information it was, he received the guidance, and now how great guidance it was. Allah said, when he came to the fire, he was called from the right side of the valley from the tree on the blessed ground. "O Musa, I am Allah, the Lord of the worlds," from chapter 28, verse 30. It also described the event in Surah An-Naml. So when he came to it, he was called, "Blessed is he who is in the fire, and the one who is around it, and glory be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds." "O Musa, I am Allah, the Almighty, the All-Wise," from Surah An-Naml, chapter 27, verse 8 and 9. And Allah also said in Surah Taha, "So when he came to it, he was called, O Musa, indeed I am your Lord. Take off your shoe, and you are in the sacred valley of Tuwa, and I have chosen you. So listen to what is revealed. Indeed I am Allah. There's no God worthy of worship but I. Therefore worship me and establish prayer for my remembrance. Certainly the hour is coming, and I have almost concealed it in that every soul may recompense for its deed. Therefore let not him who disbelieves in it and follow his own lust divert you from it, lest you perish. Okay. In Surah Taha was revealed to Musa alayhi salam. This is from me, not from the book. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the hour is coming. Okay, where it says certainly the hour is coming. So it's what, like 5,000 years ago? So for 5,000 years ago, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had told Musa alayhi salam the hour is near. So from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and us is like 1,400, 1,500 years between that connection. Okay, it's between that connection. So from his time, if the hour is near, for hours it's like minutes or second. Or I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. That was so let's continue. Many exegetes have said that when Musa alayhi salam went towards the fire, he perceived it and came to it. He found it burning in a great thorny tree. It was getting so bright that the tree was so green by every passing moment that Musa alayhi salam stood calm in astonishment. Musa alayhi salam was in a valley called Tuwa, and Musa alayhi salam was standing facing the Qibla. That tree was on the right side, from the west direction. When his Lord called him out from this valley, his first commandment him was to take off the shoes to show his respect to that place. The people of the book say Musa alayhi salam hid his face from the brightness of that light from Exodus book Exodus 3. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to Musa alayhi salam saying, O Musa, I am Allah, the Lord of the worlds, and indeed I am Allah. There is no God worthy of worship but I. Therefore worship me and establish prayer for my remembrance. This was the first message or revelation to Musa alayhi salam. I am the Lord of the worlds, beside whom there is no other God worthy of worship. He deserves all praises and all devotion and acts of worshipping, and that prayer should be established for him. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed him that this world is not a world to stay forever. The world to last is only in the hereafter, which is inevitably going to happen, so that every soul may be recompensed for its deed. If good, then good. If it's evil, then evil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Musa alayhi salam to work for good and to avoid those who disobey him and to follow their lust. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to Musa alayhi salam, O Musa, what is that in your right hand? Allah asked him about his staff and its nature, which Musa held in his hand since a long time, because Musa was quite sure that it was nothing but a wooden staff. Musa alayhi salam said, This is my staff. I lean upon it, I beat down the leaves with it to feed my sheep, and in it I find other use too. Musa alayhi salam said, Yes, this is my staff, and I am quite familiar with it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Throw it down, O Musa. So he threw it down, and it turned into a snake slithering. It was a magnificent miracle and an ultimate proof that what The one who spoke with him from the tree is the one who created things. The people of the book say Musa salam asked Allah for a proof which he could verify his claim when he goes to Fir'aun. So Allah said, "What is that in your hand?" "A staff," he replied. He said, "Throw it on the ground." When Musa salam threw it, it turns into a snake. Musa salam ran fast there. From there, the Lord commanded him to reach out his hand to take it from its tail. When Musa salam hold it from his tail, it turned into a staff in his hand. This is from the book of Exodus, book number 4. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in verse 28-31, "And cast down your staff." So when he threw it, a snake, he saw a quivering like a snake. He ran away and did not come back. His staff turned into a huge, frightening snake with a big jaw, moving very fast. As Musa salam saw it, he ran away without looking back. But when the Lord stopped him, saying, "O Musa, come back and do not fear, for you are quite secure." When Musa salam turned back, Allah commanded him to hold it. "Take it and do not fear it. We shall restore it to its former state." So all this is from Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 11 to verse 21. Surah Taha is one of my favorite chapters of the Quran. Just drink some. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala command him to put his hand in his bosom and ask him to take it out. And when he did, it was white without any stain on it, neither any kind of leprosy. That is why he said, "And put your hand in your into your bosom, and it will come out shining white without any stain. And draw your hand close to your side to be free from fear." This is from chapter 28, verse 32. It is said that it means that if you fear, just put your hand on your heart and you will be relieved from your fear. Even though this is peculiar to Musa salam, nonetheless, the blessing of being a true believer make it possible for one who uses it to benefit from them. It seems a manner of following of the Prophet. So it says over here, like say, if you feel scared or fear, just put your hands on your chest and then take it out. It will not turn white, okay? Like what happened to Musa salam is saying that if you feel scared, just put your hand over here. Okay. So Allah said in Surah An-Naml, chapter 27, verse 12, "And place your hand in your bosom, it will come out shining without any stain, among 9 signs to Fir'aun and his people. Indeed, they are a wicked people." So all these 2 signs are from among the 9 signs which Musa salam was given. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, those are 2 proofs from your Lord to Fir'aun and his chiefs, for indeed they are wicked people. The staff and the white hand, besides 7 others which make it 9 signs, altogether that indicate to Surah Al-Isra. And we give Musa 9 clear signs so ask the children of Israel, when Musa salam came to them, and Fir'aun said to him, "Musa, I think you are enchanted." He said, "Indeed, you know that none sent this down except the Lord of the heavens and the earth as a clear proof, and I deem you, Fir'aun, be destroyed." From Surah Al-Isra, chapter 17, verse 101 to 102. And from Surah Al-Araf, chapter 7, verse 130 to 133. "And certainly we seized Fir'aun with years of scarcity and diminution of fruit that they might be mindful. So when good came to them, they said, "This is our due." But if evil afflict them, they will ascribe it to Musa and those with him. Whereas their misfortune was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But most of them do not know, and they said, "Whatever signs you may bring to us, enchanted us, we will not believe in you." So we let loose upon them flood and locusts and lice and frogs and blood, clear signs, but they were arrogant and they were sinful people. These 9 signs are different from the 10 commandments. From the 10 commandments, some people have mixed them and thought they are as the same. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Musa alayhi salam to go to Fir'aun and he said, "My Lord, I have killed one of them, and I fear they may slay me, and my brother Harun is more eloquent in speech than I. So send him with me so he may support me. Surely I fear they will reject me." He said, "We will certainly strengthen your arm with your brother, and we shall give you both such an authority that they will not be able to harm you. So by our sign, you and whoever follows you shall be victors." When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala disclosed to Musa alayhi salam the mission he was about to take up as messenger, he spelled out his fear and reminded him of what he had done in the past. He said that he had killed the Coptic Egyptian before, and they might take revenge for him so that they may kill him. "My Lord, I've killed one of them, and I fear that they may slay me, that they will slay me. And my brother Harun is more eloquent in speech than me. So send him with me so that he may support me. Surely I fear they will reject me." Musa alayhi salam asked Allah for his brother Harun to be appointed his deputy and helper, so he may convey the message in a better way, because his brother was more eloquent than him in speech. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered his request, saying, "We will certainly strengthen your arm with your brother, and we shall give you both such an authority that they will not be able to harm you. So by our sign, and you, whoever follows you, shall be victors." This from Surah Taha. Go to Pharaoh. This from Surah Taha, verse 20 to 20, chapter 20, verse 24 to 28. Go to Pharaoh, for he is an insolent tyrant. He said, "O my Lord, expand my chest and make my task easier for me, and remove the impediment from my speech so that they may understand what I say." And Hassan Basri said, "The messengers only ask according to their need, and that is why some impediment remain in the tongue of Musa salam. Is that why Musa salam went to Fir'aun, he denounced him as being unclear. So he said, and who can scarcely express himself clearly." From Surah Al-Zukhruf, chapter 43 to 52. We will read the last speech, and then we will end this video, inshallah. "And give me a helper from my family, Harun and my brother. Add to my strength through him, and make him share my task, so that we may glorify you without ceasing, and remember you frequently. Surely you are all seeing of us." Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, You are granted your request, O Musa." This is from Surah Taha, chapter 20, verse 29 to 36. "We have responded to all your requests and gave you everything you asked for. This shows the rank of Musa alayhi salam before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that when he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to send revelation to his brother Harun, he accepted to do so. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and he was honorable before Allah, as he also said from Surah Al-Azab chapter 33 verse 69 and Surah Al-Maryam chapter 19 verse 53. And of our mercy we gave him his brother Harun as a prophet. Ul Mu'minin Aisha radiallahu anha heard a man saying to the people while they were on their way to Hajj, has any brother trusted his brother? People kept silence. Aisha radiallahu anha said to those who were on her hawdah, it was Musa alayhi salam, it was Musa's ibn Imran, when he interceded to Allah for his brother Harun alayhi salam, Allah sent revelation to him as well. Allah said, and out of our mercy we gave him his brother Harun as prophet. Chapter 19 verse 53. Alright, so now we're going to end this video now here, and we'll continue after the prayer of Asr. We'll go to the next chapter. The subject is Musa alayhi salam going to Fir'aun. The story of Musa alayhi salam is very thick, so you have to take time to complete it. You'll take maybe 1 or 2 days, inshallah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.